Sure, our audio's working. It's looking good. All right. Welcome to the playground, everybody. I'm Pixie Phoenix. Tonight, I am joined by Nox, my storyteller, Zack, who plays Aldrich. I play Desi, and we've got
A
new face with us. Mitch is with us. Oh my God, the cat is going bonkers. And I've got a new player for tonight. I'm super excited for our guest. Remember, guys, we do mind the chat, and I love hearing from you guys. So feel free to drop a hello, an emote, what have you. And let's do a catch up. How's everybody's week been?
I've been looking forward to doing this. Been talking with Mitchell for a couple days about how we're going to get this set up and planning this game and other ones too. So it's been a decent week.
A couple days. Uh, it's been since yesterday for me because of time zones. It must have. So I'm like, a couple days? Has it really been this long? I thought this just happened yesterday. But I guess time zones means that those days have been sliced up into different pies. Yes, this has been very exciting. I've been streaming since the start of this year, and I'm already like, yeah, guesting, playing a game on somebody else's stream is pretty cool.
Well, we're glad to have you. Little update. I gained like 10 followers today, so we're like 792.
Cool. Good job.
I'm kind of speechless, but thank you, everybody. I mean, I've
Did you even stream today?
No, I wasn't feeling good. I mean, I'm still not, but I'm here.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I go on Twitter and sometimes look at other streamers, look for other streamers that stream stuff that I do, and so I'll hit them with the follow, and I just kind of don't think about it till I see them streaming, and I'll go catch their stream. But then sometimes follows come back, and it's it's a nice surprise. You don't know, I don't ever expect it. But it's been quite the journey. Yeah, I'm just been streaming a bit longer than you. Probably seriously a year as far as like committing to learning everything and getting going, and as of the last couple few months getting on a regular schedule, full-time schedule. So, yeah, I'm still a newbie too.
Cool.
Well, Nox, shall we catch up our audience on where we left off?
So last week, the crew found a rumor at Kellen's of a artifact that was on a Leviathan ship that was keeping people from the docks, keeping people from working. So, after a bit of a vision from their whisper, the crew of Desi, Mephis, and Persephone headed to the docks and were marginally successful, kind of successful. They didn't die. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So
That's
successful then.
that's the takeaway.
What is that saying? Any crash?
Any job you can walk away from. Yeah.
Um. So they escape back, and there are definitely they were able to diffuse a lot of their heat, but they've definitely pissed some people out there in the city off. Problem being that they don't quite know who those people might be yet. So when we start, our crew is in their grotto. It's late, getting ready and preparing to figure out how they're going to try and make some coin for the evening. So, what's the first step that you all are gonna take? You gonna head out? Are you gonna go perusing for, say, some rumor mongering and attempt to figure something, a score out on the fly? Are you going to maybe attempt to claim some local property for yourself so that way you've got a little bit more of a local backing?
We're a cult. I think we need some virgins for a blood sacrifice.
And you know my fallback for rumors. I just go hang out with hookers.
Which are not virgins. That's the opposite of what we're trying to look for.
Hey, you know, little from column A, little from column B. We'll figure it out.
Dear Lord.
Okay.
Schooner, do you have a suggestion?
I didn't quite know how deep I was getting into some stuff here with this cult business, I guess. I was just gonna go to the pub, I guess, and hang out with some folks, and you know, have a good old chinwag. See what slips after you've had a few drinks.
All right,
But
so
yeah, I'm kind of coming into this blind a little bit. I just got some folks that I heard I could get some work with. Big yikes from old Schooner.
so
The coin
Actually,
bit
you know,
Apparently.
I'll
coin
go
bit
to
of
the
me-
tavern. Yeah.
okay, so are we? So I guess we're heading back to Kellen's again.
Mm-hmm.
Kellen's on the laborious slope on the front of Saltpire down here. The when you guys get to Kellen's, it is already well in swing. There's some drunks who are brawling out front. There, of course, are ladies of the evening hawking their wares. There's different longshoremen and miners and farmers coming in from the field. There's a couple guards there from Iron Hook. In short, it is kind of the place to be if you're trying to put your ear to the ground to find maybe some work. So, how do you want to go about doing this?
Let's see.
See,
So
I'm kind of like I feel like I don't want to be stepping on anybody's toes and like following the lead until we get a little bit more established here, you know.
well, I would like to just buy a pint and kind of wander around, just kind of eavesdropping here and there.
So, how would you say you are?
Mm. That be considered like prowling-ish?
You could prowl, but I would say that effect's probably going to be fairly limited, as you're not actually stalking anything in particular. You're just attempting to prowling is
Okay.
usually for
Okay, per specific target.
yeah, is more
Okay.
movement related. So you could certainly do that if you're attempting to basically move through and not um, not be observed that you're there while you're eavesdropping, but
I could give you a setup action with a consort, just like, you know, talking to the right people and giving you some juicy goss to like
Yeah, because I have no points in
over here.
consort. Buddy, tinker.
I can try and attune to ghosts. If there's any ghosts around.
Ooh,
Ghost gossip.
I like it.
Gossip ghost? Is that a thing?
I'm wondering what. Yeah.
I mean, I could give you a consort roll, to see, you know,
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
what slips of the tongue. This is just a fortune roll.
So if you are going to, so the question I was going to ask, if you're going to come into this and you're going to consort,
Hmm.
what are you looking for? Who are you attempting to consort with? What is the circumstances that you are looking for? Or
Well, what what have Aldrich and Desi sent me out looking for? How about that?
like what
I
do
don't know
you
that we know.
What information? What information? What gossip? What's yeah, like what or or what information do I think would be useful to bring to the rest of the crew, to this cult? You know?
I think at this point we're just kind of casting the nets.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, with me hanging out at the tavern, it would just be kind of, wandering through the crowds, just kind of listening in, see if something piques my interest. Maybe a mob boss has a job for somebody. Maybe somebody's looking for some bounty hunters or something. Just, the keywords that I might be like, oh, I need to go talk to this person.
Okay. I want to go to like oh, we're going to like Cullen's bar, aren't we?
yeah,
Mhm.
to Kellen's. Yeah.
Yeah, Callan's. I want to be on the lookout for people who are like who aren't usually in this place, that like they are of a higher tier of clientele than they usually have here, who are looking frazzled and stressed, and like I can come to them with a solution to whatever problems they might be having. You know?
All all right.
How does
So
that sound?
so we'll make the consort roll to see how this works out for you. Now,
God,
again,
you look like you're having some troubles, my friend.
He's looking for like a Tyrion Lannister holed up in a bar trying to figure out what his next move.
Yeah, just like
so then the question here is anybody going to assist,
Well, I would be there.
or are you doing, or is this going to be a setup maneuver for you?
I
Or
think I think I think at this point it's just like this is starting position. This is like this is what the camera opens on
right.
in the show, right? Um, yeah.
Yeah, if he has consort, then yeah, I could do a setup to help. I just don't have any points in consort.
I mean, you don't have to set up with consort either.
Mm.
Yeah, the only
You
thing
can.
that I thought would make sense again was prowl. So if we're both looking for that kind of person
I could do
in
survey.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Could
but
survey.
does that
Survey
is
works.
that what you were explaining, Knox, before, was like if I'm actually looking for the same kind of people, the same kind of group that he is, that gives me my target, so then prowl would make sense?
So prowl, I would say that's again probably going to be more of a limited effect unless you are intentionally attempting to not be seen
Oh, to be
or
hidden. Oh, it's like
to
obfuscate. Okay.
Yeah.
If you hover
If
over
we yeah, if we wanted to follow this guy home after I'm finished talking with them, prowl, mwah,
Okay.
yes. But like figuring out who a good mark would be survey.
And I don't think, let me see. Yeah, nope.
I
I'm just,
wouldn't
I've got
select
study and tinker.
I can
Yeah, this one will have to be up to the guys.
so.
I can survey the room and point out all the rich pricks that he's looking
Mm.
for.
There you go.
Okay,
Well, then I'll
so
stand back and watch the men work. Mm, have my pint. Mm.
all right then. So that's going to be your. So you're going to survey. Okay.
Yep.
So roll that. We'll say for position. Um. we'll say it's a reasonably controlled situation, as you're not exactly um, in a rush here. You've got time to look around. Unaffected be standard.
Okay. Do I just click the survey button, or do I actually do the roll
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
again?
just click survey.
Okay, okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so controlled situation.
Yeah, you missed last Thursday. That's right. We found out you could just click the words.
Bonus dice
Mhm.
0.
Handy.
It's very handy.
Okay, so Aldrich, you are watching, looking for anything that's abnormal. What you notice is there is a older gentleman who is, he looks like maybe he's not wealthy per se, but he certainly looks like maybe he's a little richer than most of the other people who are here in the bar, who is talking somewhat nervously, um, trying to keep his voice down, struggling a little bit maybe to keep his voice down, very, very excited or upset about something. You're not real sure which. And he is talking with a much, much older woman, um, who is, she's not quite interrogating him so much as she's very, very pointedly asking him questions. And every single time that she's asking him any sort of questions, he seems to get more upset. Um, you also notice, however, that there is somebody, they are standing at the far end of the bar. At a table nearby, there are at least two or three other people who are not doing a particularly good job at eavesdropping on this conversation. They are very interested on what this gentleman is talking about.
Do I go buy a drink for the gentleman, or do I go buy a drink for the eavesdroppers? Oh, g'day, guys. What are we listening to?
I will let you decide that.
Oh, no.
Well,
Oh,
there's something to be said from getting information from the source.
but is there information to be gotten from whoever's willing to pay money for that information? You know? Cut out the
Uh,
middleman, go straight to the source. I don't know. The shit stirring shithead in me wants to go like fuck with the eavesdroppers.
We appreciate that here on this stream.
Um, like I already know what the start of that conversation is, right? It's like, oh, g'day guys, what are we listening to? That's it. That's the line. That's but they're going to be so much more hostile. Um, I think I go talk to the gentleman, right? Unfortunately, just like couldn't help but overhear. That sounds really rough, fellas. Here, have a drink to drown your sorrows. If you need to hand it all, you sound like you're really going through it. And you know, I don't have much, but I can lend you a helping hand.
So you okay? So how? So here is the question here. So you already
Mm-hmm.
know that he's in the middle of a conversation with somebody else, and you
Mm-hmm.
also know that he is that they are being fed.
Oh, that's what I do. I go buy them a drink and tell them that there's people eavesdropping and take them into a back room, right? Oh, I got a booth out the back. You could you know, you can have this conversation where you're not going to be overheard as such. And
So
meanwhile, like Desi's under the table or something.
okay, so how
I'm
you
just lying in wait.
Mm,
so what's your so how are you gonna do this? What's your role?
that's what this is. It's consort,
Okay,
and it's these guys are eavesdropping on you. I've got a booth out the back. Um, you know, this is you get some real unsavory types around here, fellas. You know, you don't want to be you don't want to be leaving the you don't want to be leaving this place in the back of a wagon, lying face down in it, right? With several knives stabbed into your kidneys.
Okay, so you are going to go approach the rich guy and the old woman.
Mm-hmm.
Desi, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging back, keeping my eyes on everything, but sticking in the shadows, not really bothering anybody. Just kind of that whole staying 5 feet behind rule.
Okay, Aldrich, what are you gonna do?
I'm waiting to see how they react. If they follow him to the bar, if they go outside, I'm gonna send my raven to spy on them. Since I have a mind link with the raven, so anything the raven hears or sees, I'll be able to pick up on.
Okay, so then this is on you, Schooner.
Yeah, g'day.
So we'll say that this is going to be. So you're walking up on this guy who's already in a conversation here.
I've got them like refills of the drinks that they've already got. I ask the barman for
I will say that that's probably still a fairly risky.
going up to them and telling that they're being eavesdropped on.
But
I'll take risky. Is it a better position from the setup roll though? Not a better position, a better effect from the setup roll though.
I would have actually said that the effect is probably better from the setup rather than the position.
Yeah.
So
Right,
yeah,
yeah,
so you're looking at this would probably be the increase to standard. This would probably be great.
Yep. Risky, great. Boom. Bonus
Now,
dice.
so now there's the question: are you going to push yourself for this to give yourself an additional die?
I'm not going to push myself. All
right.
But can I get a devil's bargain?
All right.
Starting off early, yes.
So here is my devil's bargain to you.
Make it entertaining for the folks at home.
Here's the devil's bargain. You walk up to them. You can tell them that somebody else is trying to eavesdrop on them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that group won't necessarily overhear that you've said something, but an unknown third party who is also eavesdropping on the situation will.
Love that. I'm like so careful to make sure that I'm facing away from the eavesdroppers, that somebody else has like perfect line of sight.
Yep.
No, that's great.
So you have a flashback to where you learned how to lip read?
Yeah, no, just like, so one bonus dice. The bonus dice was a 1. Great.
So,
Eep.
so
4's not bad.
So, you succeed. You walk up to them. You set the drinks down, and at first they're a little taken aback because they're like, kind of like, "Who the fuck are you?" But as soon as you tell them that the business they're conducting, they're being eavesdropped on, you know a place that they would like to go. So you convince them. They're like, yes. The old man in particular, who's a little wealthier, he's like, oh, now we don't want everybody around here knowing what's going on. No, we will absolutely come with you.
Yeah, no, of course not.
They stand up. The issue there being is that you weren't exactly quiet when you did this. So the first group that was listening, yeah, they heard that you just told them that so they've stood up now too, and they're a little pissed.
Yeah.
Row.
So
That's not worth resisting. Not yet.
Okay.
That's not worth resisting. Yeah, that's fine. We can work. We can move forward from here.
Okay.
Fellas, how you going? Having a good night tonight,
So,
etc.
Aldrich, Desi. So you watch Schooner, and he walks over. He's talking to them. They're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll go." They go to walk off, and you see the table 3 guys stand up, and they look pissed from where you are. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna hold my position and just kind of see how this plays out. Like I said, I'm not so far away that I can't step in,
So helpful.
The bus.
but I also
You're
want
under it.
I want to see how this develops.
Oh, that's what it's like under here. So dirty.
Aldrich, what about you?
I'm gonna try to create a distraction. Using Greg.
Yeah, nice.
All right. So when you say you're gonna create a distraction, what are you thinking you're gonna do?
How let me see. I'm gonna go get some drinks, and then just like as they're getting up, like just drunkenly like stumble and spill them on them. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
All right.
This is your chance to run.
I don't think. I probably do want to bail, don't I?
He's like, but I don't want to.
I know.
Want to. Just. Do I just want to nick off? I think I just want to slip into the crowd, right? But that's not how the. That's not where the. I guess where the story goes on from here is Desi. Oh wait. Can I? Okay. Can I pitch something on you, Nox? To you, Nox.
Sure, go for it.
Like, what if we cut to Scooter picking himself up off the floor of off the ground in the alley, like dusting themselves off. They've got like, they've been beat up by these dudes, and he's lifted something off them in the process. Like,
so
I want to have like, you know how you like a pickpocket will like shoulder bump you and lift something off you when you're walking down the street. What if that, except instead of shoulder bumping somebody, I got like beat up by these dudes.
okay. So then the question is how did we get from? So your intention is to basically you want to be the distraction and take the beating, while Desi and Aldrich
Yes.
go handle the other two.
Actually do the work of finding out what the score is, and I like lift the heat off and the attention away from them, right?
Okay, I'm not against that, and that's actually a fairly reasonable assumption that these 3 guys are going to probably have an issue with what you've just done.
Mm-hmm.
So
but I want to get something out of it. I want to know like who they're working for. You know.
So how? Okay, so then the question, of course, is how are you going to execute on this?
A finesse roll. I roll finesse.
Okay, so you're going to finesse it. Are you going to push yourself?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
I'm getting the shit kicked out of me to do this.
All right, so you're going to take 2. I guess, do you want a devil's bargain?
I feel like I don't.
Okay.
And also I could get help, but you with the bonus dice you can push yourself or accept a devil's bargain. You can't do both.
Oh, we've always done it where you could do both.
You could do both. Yeah. A lot of the other Forged in the Dark systems have other ways to get you bonus dice as well. But the OG is pick one or the other.
Yeah, the character or the reminder sheet kind of says that too. It says push yourself or take a devil's bar.
It actually says that on the character sheets as well. So okay, so you push yourself. You take 2 dice. So you've got 2 for your finesse roll here.
Yep. Risky.
I would
standard?
say yeah. This is going to be risky in standard.
Yeah. They might decide that they want to actually, hurt me instead of just making me look bad. Yeah, cool. 5.
Okay, so your interruption into this has been. They're pissed at you. They are definitely pissed at you, and it provides a perfect opportunity as Desi follows the old lady and the rich dude out into a different area of the bar. It's a little quieter, but these 3, they straight grab you, like they snatch you up. And when the bartender is like, "Not in here, fellas," they don't have any problem with that.
Yep.
So
we can go outside and dance. That's no trouble.
So, they take you outside. They definitely work you over a little bit. They're not as hard as maybe you're expecting them to be. You think this is more than being pissed about being found out than actually whatever you would have thought maybe for a couple tubs who actually lost a job opportunity here.
Yeah.
But you find out in the process as they're kicking the shit out of you. One of them says, "We've been following this geezer for days, and you fuck it up just like that for us?"
Yep. Yeah, I did, didn't I guess? Oh, shit. Sorry, brothers. Just spits out blood. Fucking, don't mind me. I just, unlucky, I guess.
So, here would be the obvious question here. So, 3 guys take you outside and kick the shit out of you. You're probably gonna have some harm. Level 1 roughed up. Do you want to resist that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So
that's probably going to be a prowess resist. Resist the consequences from physical strain or injury. Yep. Bonus dice none. Fingers crossed. Oh, look at that!
Oh,
I dance so well.
golf clap, golf clap, golf clap.
It's ballet. Schooner's been in more than a few bar alley brawls. He knows how to make it look nice and make sure everybody feels like they've done their part. It's great. You love to see it.
And that closes dress too. That's crazy.
No, he didn't get double 6s, so he didn't get the crit.
Oh, okay. So a double 6 is a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they after they're done kicking the shit out of you, they spit on the ground and they storm off. Maybe you lay there for a minute or two.
I lay there. I lay there in the damp in the alley on the ground, curled up into the fetal position. Go. I could do this all day.
Kids in the hall, stay down.
Yo.
And above you, you just hear a little raven crow.
So, well, you're dusting yourself off in the alleyway outside. Desi, Aldrich, you guys have managed to maneuver close to where these people are talking. You overhear the old man. And he says, "Well, he was my nephew, and I charged him with couriering that book to and from. But when he was mugged and they murdered him, the book went missing, which is a problem to be solved. But the bigger problem, the bells never tolled. The spirit wardens were never alerted. So his ghost is somewhere here in the city. I need it returned. The old woman asking questions, things like where was he murdered? What was the book? Things of that nature. And the man is either very reticent to give any more details, uh, or the details that he gives are factually inaccurate. You know them to be factually inaccurate.
First-hand knowledge, that's for sure.
So, how are you going to approach this? What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to eavesdrop? Are you
I mean, we're getting some information right now, and I don't. As long as we're not in any danger, like we're not being spotted or anything like that, I would say try and see what other information we can gather.
Okay, so you are going to so they know that people are attempting to eavesdrop on them. So
Okay.
obviously they're going to be more aware and more um,
Vague.
not necessarily vague, but they're probably going to attempt to be more quiet about their actions. They're going to be more risk averse, shall we say? Um, so the question is, if you're going to continue, how are you going to do this, or in such a way as to make sure you aren't seen while you are continuing to do basically what they just found out somebody else was trying to do to them.
Oh. I'm half tempted to leave and go find the ghost.
I kind of feel like we already know that this guy either doesn't know the details and he's making them up, or he knows and he's lying.
We know where the body was, so we at least have a starting point from
And the
where
book.
we found the body.
I mean, exposing ourselves to him now. Just saying, like, I see that as being more complicated if we have the news of the ghost, if we, um, and we know the background details anyway because we were there. I say, yeah, I agree with Aldrich. There should be enough here to go on.
What I
Okay.
can do is I can leave the Raven behind, so that when he leaves,
Good idea.
I can have the Raven follow him. We can figure out where he goes.
Very good idea.
Okay, so then what you guys are wanting to do is you're wanting to actually head back to the site of, shall we say, your original crime.
Well, do we need to
We'll
go to
go
our,
around back and pick up Schooner first.
yeah. But I mean, do we need to also go back to our lair to prepare for this outing?
Well, so far this has been, I would say, you guys have not yet gotten
Figured
to
out what the score.
what the
is.
score.
Oh, okay, we got to figure out the score first. That makes sense.
So you guys go and you get Schooner and head to.
I just leave him in the alley. He'll be fine.
Oh, there's half a bagel back here.
Jesus Christ.
Floor pie.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay, so snatching him up, you going back to those alleys over in Second Chance. You're not very far from where this happened. When you get to that alley, the blood has mostly been rinsed off, cleaned off. You're not really sure. There's definitely still some splatters there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was not exactly very careful.
The cracks in the pavers are still dark. All the grout in between the flagstones. God, there was a lot of blood here. Jesus. Oh wait, no, Jesus isn't a guy.
Meat bags are usually full of the stuff.
So, what now? You, Aldrich, you also know where the body last was.
On the beach. Yeah.
So what is your action? What are your actions here?
I'm gonna try to attune, see if I can attune to the ghost, see if I can locate it,
Okay.
or other ghosts that maybe saw what happened or might know where he went or where he is.
All right. So you've got one. Are you going to push yourself,
Sure.
or are you going to accept a devil's bargain?
I can give you an assist.
Okay.
Take one stress and give you an extra dice.
Oh, okay. I took
that
2
looks
for
like-
I pushed myself, so. And then an assist.
So
Here, ghosty, 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 ghosty.
we will say that this is a controlled position. I mean, you're literally the only ones in the alley.
This time.
And the effect will be standard.
Oh.
So you attune to what's behind the veil.
Uh-oh.
When you close your eyes, you end up instead experiencing the ghost's last moments as familiar faces as you ran into that crew proceed to just go absolutely ham, above and beyond what you might have expected. Whatever you thought that they had done to this guy wasn't even close. Like they were this was not a mugging. This was a straight up hit. So you suffer 1 minor damage. We'll say frazzled.
Where's damage on the?
So it's under level 1
Oh,
harm.
okay. You just added it there. Okay,
Yep.
I see it now. Okay.
But as you come back to, you have a very, very strong sense, shall we say, that the ghost is still nearby.
Okay.
Where? You don't know.
The beach was nearby too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It was right where you found the body was right on the end of the.
Try over there.
Go back to the scene of the crime.
No, this was the scene of
I
the
was gonna
crime.
say, well, this was the scene.
The
of the
beach
crime.
was the
Well,
body disposal.
yeah.
So, when you guys head down to the beach, obviously at this point the body is gone. Whether or not the body was washed out into the silk, or somebody came and took it for whatever nefarious reason, or garbage men decided that maybe having a dead body on the beach was probably not good and threw it in the back of waste disposal. No idea. But here you are. So what is your step here? So you're at the location where you last saw
I'm
the
going to
body.
try to attune again.
All right. Uh,
Long shot.
Desi and Scooter, what are you doing?
Uh, after you, Dizzy.
And I'm still going over my character sheet.
Yeah, okay. You really, yeah. That thing that worked. You don't look so good, mate. That thing where you like jumped a bit and screamed just a little bit. You do the same thing. Yeah, here in the spooky water. You you sure? You're certain about that? You really set on this course of action for you tonight? I mean, now. You you want to drink first, maybe?
The drink is usually the beginning of a grand adventure.
And a cigarette at the end of one.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's anything else I can do to aid in the locating of the ghost before we give that up.
Well, I don't know.
That's
Does hunt
why
work for ghosts?
Does what work for ghosts?
hunt. Interesting question.
Um, so here is the interesting part about that. Hunting, if you look at the thing, gather information about its target location movements, attack with precision. Obviously, you're not attacking something,
No,
but
it'd be more. Yeah.
you are hunting for a target, and you already knew where it generally was. I would say that its effect is likely to be limited, but you've already attuned to it, so there's certainly an argument to be made there that you might carry some more insights than you would otherwise.
So
I
when you described the beach, was that just our overall observation, or would studying the area reveal any new clues?
I mean, studying or surveying would potentially. That was my initial description of the scene. Is just the initial description of the scene.
Okay. Yeah, I've got study. Let me see if I'm. Oh, description. You guys have like the book open, don't you?
I've got one in study a person document.
Yeah,
Item
same
employ
here.
scrutiny to gather information and apply knowledge. Gain a deeper
So,
understanding. Do research.
Are you hovering over the skills, Pixie?
oh, okay, okay,
If you hover
got
your
it.
mouse over the skills, a little description
Thank
shows up.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
really hate to say this, but whoever did the character sheets for this game really needs to go back and do the character sheets for other games because they did a really
yeah.
good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the Forged in the Dark Roll20 sheets are this good, and it's so good.
It's
Oh
oh yeah, through Vampire I'm
That would be-
constantly going back and looking up stuff.
yeah.
The VTM ones, it's okay.
Like-
It's not great.
Roll20 as a platform was built to do D&D on, and the D&D character sheets on Roll20 are a hot mess.
Mm. Well, I could take the lead on the study and you could support. We could just basically focus on the region that we.
I'm happy to give you an assist on that. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Mark the stress.
so you'll take a point in stress, and
Mhm.
Desi, you will. Are you gonna push yourself, or would you like a devil's bargain?
Pushing just adds 1 stress or 2 stress?
2 stress.
Yeah, what the fuck? Let's go.
Okay, gonna push yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So that's now so 3 dice. So you're studying. We'll say that's going to be standard and risky.
Okay. And 1 bonus die or 2?
2. All
Oh,
right.
there you go. Nice.
So
Not too shabby.
as you look around the area where the body was, you cannot help but feel like there's something here that you're missing. The the water on the burnt water is not heavy enough to have carried a full man's body out. The body wasn't found close enough to the main part of the Selk. It was closer into the smaller little river. So you can't help but think that there's no way that this body just wandered off on its own. And that is about the point when you're looking around trying to figure this particular problem out. When both at the same time, since you two are doing this together, both you and Schooner look up, and on the opposite side, there is of the river in Old Village. There is a building. It looks like it's maybe like a small shop of some sort that's right there on the corner, but it has like a greenhouse on top.
You put your weed in there.
And you put your mushrooms in there more likely, but
No, you put your mushrooms in a basement.
that is
Anyway.
the greenhouse isn't necessarily what's odd. What's odd is the translucent, almost cerulean glow of something wandering behind the glass.
Spooky.
At this time, you then see a face pushes itself against the glass as if it's looking at you and has seen you.
You know how I just said the word spooky? I want to reiterate that.
Oh, but we like spooky.
All of which that would be something taken on its own. But what happens next is there is a flash from within the greenhouse. It almost looks the way lightning going across the sky does, except it is only in the top of the greenhouse.
Mmm.
And the glow is gone.
Bug zapper. Ghost zapper.
So,
Yes, so I guess we're heading to the magical spoopy greenhouse. Hmm.
Great, love that for us. I just still on the beach, just like a wave to the empty greenhouse, just in case anything can see us. Just like, fuck, stunned and not sure what else to do. Just
so
yeah, right.
this would be about the time when we would be discussing what the score and how you're going to approach this particular target to find out what's inside is going to be.
Okay.
Is it?
But what we're actually going to go do.
I think Schooner wanted to head back to the pub at this point. He's like, it's all up to you guys now. Y'all can deal with this ghost shit.
Yeah, I'd rather have a cerulean mixed drink, honestly.
So I was going to say was this is about the time where we're actually going to take a break and take a bio break for 10 minutes.
Sounds
I didn't feel it
good.
coming up because we got a late start.
We did get a late start. I had a doctor's appointment that got postponed and could not be. So, yeah, but we were only a little bit late. Wasn't too bad.
Wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah. So everybody, also real quick, I want to thank Alice for the raid. Please go check her out. I'm going to give her a shout out. Alice is a fantastic artist and Final Fantasy 14 player. So, thanks for the raid. Welcome, raiders. We're going to take a quick break, and then we should be back at 15, 20, 15, 20, somewhere-ish. Stick with us, guys, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. Thanks again for the raid, Alice, and all the raiders. Good to see you here. We're in the middle of our session 2 of 3 of Blades in the Dark. I'm joined tonight by Mitch, who you might know as Dry Gold. There we go.
Yeah, dry gold.
And also I'm joined tonight by my storyteller Nox and husband Zack, who's playing Aldrich. And so feel free to hit us up in chat. We do pay attention to that, and we will go right back into it.
So, when we left off before the break, our scoundrels think that they have found maybe the ghost of the courier in a somewhat awkward place. So, the question here is, of course, do you feel like you have enough information to start the score, or does this feel like a situation in which you feel like you need more information, or perhaps even way more information, to go about before you start the engagement?
Meta question really quickly.
Sure.
Under Clever Friends, where we had to choose like our close contact, but then there was one we had to pick that was a negative.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is does that person just outright hate us, have it out for us? They're just more difficult to work with? Can you clarify
Up
that?
to you.
I would say that's played out in game, depending on how.
Okay, because I would like to inform my crewmates that I do have a connection of a corpse thief. If we think it could be prudent to speak to him. I would also wonder, before we set up this score, should we at least research what that building is and maybe who owns it? What do
My
you
Raven-
guys think?
My Raven was still at the bar too, waiting to follow the guy with the information.
That's true. You set that up.
So, to follow up a little bit on that, it's about this time, coincidentally enough, that the old man leaves, as does the old woman, and they go in 2 separate directions. So the question for you, Aldrich, is who is your Raven going to follow?
I was going after the guy that had the information, that knew about the book, and that was.
Remember, though, Aldrich, we know for a fact what we heard. Some of the facts he was giving her were wrong.
Right. That's why I want to know more about him.
Okay.
Okay.
Why he has the wrong information. Got
Right.
you.
So you said send him out after the old man.
Mm-hmm.
So the bird follows him for not terribly long. He winds through the streets of Saltpire into Char Hollow Heights and goes into Swinegate Court. Now, once he goes through the doors at Swinegate, there's, of course, no real way for your Raven to be able to follow him in.
Right. Okay. But at least now we know where to find him. Because once we find the ghost, we could sell it to him or whatever. He's the one who wanted the ghost, right? Sell it back to him. Don't tell him anything about the book. Just be like, hey, we found your ghost.
Does anybody have points in survey?
I did. I have 1.
Because it might be worth just like.
No, I'm study.
I go later on at some point. Just go walk around the outside of that building and find out if it's somebody's home. Is it a business?
Or send the Raven to fly around.
Yeah, exactly.
You could probably get a pretty good look at the greenhouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be great.
So you're talking about the building that's across the burned
Yeah.
fire.
With the greenhouse on the top.
So from where you are, I would say you've actually got some options. Now you've got the buildings that are behind you on second chance. They're not shanties, but they're not shanties. So your ability to climb up on them is probably not going to be severely impeded. You might piss somebody off who's living there, but whatever, fuck them. You could always cross Market Bridge and actually head into Old Village. After all, it is your hunting grounds. So you actually have a little bit of authority there.
Authority.
And of course, there's always contacting your contacts and/or checking out Swinegate Court. Then there's also that old woman. There's a lot of different things ways you could approach this.
Yeah, my
Shit, you
contact
can even go to the guys who beat the crap out of Schooner.
So I'd say,
Yeah,
do we
true.
want to possibly split these things up? I mean, I kind of hate.
I love a bad idea of going and having a chat and trying to make peace with the guys who beat the shit out of me.
And I've got sway, so maybe speaking to this older woman could be.
Wait, did I actually finesse something off of them? What did I actually lift off of them?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say you lifted a key.
Oh, cool.
Do we want to try it on the book real quick?
What does this key go to, do you reckon?
Do you want the book?
Oh.
Maybe?
Oh.
That's the only thing we've
book.
come across so far that's had a lock on it. That's
Sure.
is the
Yeah.
It may not even fit, but
Mm-hmm.
To make it fit. I know a lot. Has anybody tried to pick the lock on the book?
that's Pixie's downtime
It's
event.
my
So she's
downtime.
been working.
Oh, cool.
So I will give this one to you. Does he? The type of key that Scooter has picked up is not even close to the type of key that's on the.
Okay.
It is too large.
Gotcha.
Yeah, maybe it's magical though. You could try it anyway.
Shrink.
Shrinky dink.
Feed it a mushroom.
Stick it in the oven and get it to be a bit smaller.
So.
If I mangle it, it'll fit.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out.
Here's a good one for your downtime too, Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
He's I know a guy you can take that to.
That would be most helpful.
One of my shady friends is a locksmith, and he thinks I'm all right.
Very nice.
As long as we cut out his tongue and make sure he can't tell anyone about the book.
No, don't do that.
No, you just, everybody has a
Just
price for silence.
I've also got some really nice lockpicks. I could have a go at it myself too. Unless you're going to get out my tongue, in which case I don't want anything to do with it.
Let's see.
My contact is a spy. Valeris.
What kind of key does it look like? Does it look like a house key or like a what? Can I study this key to try and figure out what it would go to?
Sure. If you want to study the key.
Yeah, sure. Just
I could
gather information
aid.
roll?
I have a point in study.
I am not studious.
Go Knox, go.
I was going to say, yes, you could absolutely do that if, Desi, if you want to take the point of stress, you can absolutely help.
Yeah.
Cool. Just a fortune roll or like a gather information roll?
Well, you said you were going to study.
Yeah.
Are you going to, are you going to push yourself or do you want to take a devil's bargain?
I don't think it's that important.
Okay. So then it would be, 2. I would say this is controlled, and effect is going to be standard.
Cool. So I'm getting 1 bonus dice from Desi's aid. A 4. Yeah, okay.
So,
That's all I needed.
you are pretty sure. So this is not a particularly small key. You don't think that this is like a key to like a lockbox or something like that, or a key to like a dresser. You would assume that this key is likely maybe a door key, maybe a gate key, something like that. But probably not anything smaller than that. Maybe a steamer trunk.
Yeah, cool. This key goes to a lock, you guys.
Yes, say. And all that studying.
I reckon this probably. Got to draw a little picture of it. See, look, there's a picture of the key next to the key. It's the same size. It's might go on a. You could put it on a key ring. You could put it on a chain and wear it around your neck.
Dangle it in front of some babies.
Yeah, you could play with a cat. Yeah, I reckon I might just go give it back to the poor bastard who dropped it. Honestly, because I don't really need it. Like,
Yet.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yet. We do have an adventure to go on tonight. It might be handy to have something.
If they were following that guy for weeks,
if they were following him.
that guy for weeks,
yeah, but they're like
related.
They're other randos though, right? Like, this isn't gonna go to the big spooky greenhouse. This is gonna go to like their other spooky greenhouse that these other guys have that we're not gonna go rob.
Well, they can't get in right now.
Ah, good point.
Yeah, they're probably really pissed about that.
You have the key to our apartment? No, I gotta give it to you.
No, you had the spare. Yeah, I know. I was using the spare. Why were you? Because I'm. Yeah, etc. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You didn't leave a copy with your neighbor? No. Why would you do that?
I think I would like to explore my idea of speaking with the older woman, seeing if I can track her down and have a conversation.
So, you know what she looks like, but you don't have a name. So your avenues for searching for her are going to be reasonably limited outside of heading back to Kellen's and asking questions there, unless you have an idea.
And I'm blanking.
Or a flashback, frankly, but whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to flash back to another recent visit to the pub where she has walked in and is greeted by name. Is that...
Okay.
Am I framing that?
So how are you using your skills? So how are you going to accomplish this? Are you going to
Would it go on
under
study? Because it says study a person.
Okay, I would say that you could flash back to this, because you're simply because this is simply one of those. Hey, I remember what that person's name was. This is not a particularly difficult task, so I'm not going to charge you a stress for it. this is. We'll say that this is the Naria Strangford.
So
So yes, you actually have a name to go along with your query.
yeah, I'm gonna have a moment. I'm gonna kind of scratch my head. Guys, you know what? I actually recognize that woman. I must have heavily drank and slept since then. Her name is Noria Namia.
Naya?
Nadia? Nadia?
Gotcha. Give me the name again?
It was
Naria
Naya, wasn't it?
Strangford.
Naria.
No, Naria.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot that. But maybe having this now, we could track her down.
So the first name probably wouldn't mean anything to you. The second name most certainly would, as Strangford Island in Charhollow is home to the very wealthy Lord Strangford.
Okay.
Naya Strangford, as in like Strangford Island? Those Strangfords?
It would appear so.
Struth.
Well, I guess we know where she went.
Yeah, she went back to her island.
To Strangford House on Strangford Island.
She probably went to her Strangford room in Strangford House on Strangford Island. Sat in her Strangford chair and smoked her Strangford pipe with her Strangford tobacco.
That's how they got so rich.
So,
Yeah, by naming everything after themselves. Yeah, I'd
shall
like to pay
we?
for that in Strangford bucks, thanks.
There you go. Do we think it'd be worth it to pay her a visit and maybe
These
hear
kind of
more of her
people-
side of the conversation?
These kind of people, you would definitely pay for it.
Uh,
I don't know, there might be some stuff worth picking up for you.
Well, the guy she was talking to had my Raven follow him to Swinegate Court, which is more our district, easier to get to.
yeah, let's do. I mean, if it's closer, hit that one up, see what we find out, and go from there. Shall we meet up with your Raven?
Oh, he's already back, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because I was talking about sending him over to the greenhouse afterwards. So I mean,
Okay.
once he went inside and he couldn't follow him anymore, he would have come back.
Okay. Auto return.
So
Well, it's a mind link. I communicate with him telepathically.
what does the inside of a bird's mind sound like?
Caw, caw.
That's exactly what I was expecting. So, you guys are headed to Swinegate Court, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is going to sound stupid, but I just noticed the map on Roll20. That's super useful.
I was about to ask if we could get, a.
There's Strangford Island with Strangford House on it right there, and you got to get there. You got to cross the Strangford Gate Bridge.
Let me see if I can move this
It's on
around.
Manor Road. Did you guys know that Strangford House is on Manor Road?
Yes.
So, as you head down Market Street and then across and down Char Hollow Ridge, Schooner, you notice at least one of the fellows who roughed you up is lurking in the near area.
this is such a good opportunity to go and give him his key back, though.
Hey man, while you were beating the shit out of me, I think you dropped something.
I think you dropped this. Just like it's such a good way to completely let somebody know that you know that they're there. Just, hey man, you dropped this. Sorry. Here you go. Have that back. We're going now. Goodbye. And then you have to watch them leave. And I've got 2 dice in consort. So, like, it's right there for me.
You gonna do it?
Yeah. Unless the other 2 players doth protest too much.
Did you put it on a key ring first?
Oh, definitely, right? It's got like some really tacky key charm on it. Like, oh no, you remember phone charms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, It's got like 4 Duskfall themed, like Duskfall's version of Hello Kitty key charms on it. Now, just like some old key charms that my kids didn't want anymore.
So they're like it's like a small like wood toadstool with like a smiley face on it.
One of them's it's like Hello Kitty, except if instead of a cat it was a goat.
Tiny
Everybody
smiling
loves-
Leviathan.
Yep.
So okay, so you are going to. So how are you gonna? Are you just gonna like walk up and be like, "Oh, by the way, earlier, sorry, here's your."
Oh, g'day! You're the bloke. You're one of the blokes from the other day. Yeah, sorry about this. I think you dropped this. It was on the ground in the alley after you kicked the shit out of me. It's yours. You must need it back for something. You've probably been, locked. And like, I want to lead him to maybe say what it was a key to, though that doesn't help me at all. Unless I can take that picture that I drew to my locksmith buddy and get it cut. You must be like locked out of your house or back room or garden shed or something. Here you go. It's yours. It's yeah.
Okay,
It must be.
As I say,
Yep.
so that's definitely going to be, I would say, a fairly risky position.
Just fairly.
No.
Just fairly.
Out in the open. That's fine. Yeah, sure. Risky. Effect limited, of course. Right?
I would actually say that's fairly.
Effect minuscule.
Yeah.
I would say fairly standard effect, frankly, because how many times do you beat the shit out of somebody and they bring back your
keys?
Oh, they'd probably be taken off guard.
Yeah,
you get mugged. You get mugged, and you end up with the mugger's wallet, and you go get it back to them somehow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a pretty big reversal there. I'm gonna give that at least a standard effect. Cool. So
it's just they're so taken aback.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, what the fuck?
I don't think I'm gonna push myself. Just like Schooner's seems to be such a happy-go-lucky, like, this isn't so bad. That this isn't so stressful. Like, for Mitchell in real life, that guy that beat the shit out of me at the bar last night, I'm going to go give him back his keys. I would be shitting myself to do that, right? If I saw him following me the next day. I am talking myself into taking these stress, aren't I?
So I was gonna say I mean, you could always take a devil's bargain.
I could always take a devil's. Yeah, give me the devil's bargain.
Okay, so the devil's bargain. So the devil's bargain I've got for you is that.
Love it when the GM has one ready. This is gonna be fine. I can tell.
So I actually had 2, and obviously if the other players want to throw in, so here's the idea for one. This guy will be so taken aback by your doing this that you will have likely maneuvered him into a situation with your brazen act of kindness.
Naivety.
That he might be relatively chatty with you after such a thing.
Hell yeah.
However, his friends are going to be pissed, like really pissed.
You know what? See, I'm a forward thinking gentleman. What this is he's gonna come join our crew. That's what this is. His friends are gonna be pissed, and if I ever get the opportunity, I'm gonna turn that around to no, your friends suck.
Yes.
We're great. I gave you your key back. You know, like we're nice.
Curry favor. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm taking that devil's bargain. What? Well, let's hear the other one first. You said you had two. What was the other devil's bargain?
So the other devil's bargain that I had for you is that you give the key back, and he's taken aback, but his partners, his other friends, see you two talking and consorting and automatically assume that he's double-crossing them.
Oh no, my poor dude. He'll definitely have to join our crew then.
Which will the issue being there, of course. Then, so the other one, maybe you can talk your way out of it. On this one, there's no. These guys are like, you're a fucking traitor. It's time to come to blows.
But he's on our side now. No matter which one I pick, he's joining our team. And that's like a great, like, somebody else can play. We can just this, yeah. This gets to be another playbook that somebody can play if we need somebody with a certain set of skills. So the first one was, yeah. I think it's the second one, because the second one, it's much easier to bring him over to our side. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Bonus dice 1 from the Devil's Bargain. A 6.
So
You'd love to see it. G'day. I think you dropped this.
He's like, what the fuck?
He's like doing the thing where he's sitting at a bench reading a newspaper with like the eye holes cut out of it, trying to be sneaky or whatever. He's standing surreptitiously leaning against. I guess they don't have light posts in Duskwall, do they? I guess they would, because it's always night, right?
So in this area they wouldn't. So electricity is kind of something for rich people.
Yeah.
So like if you went to Strangford Manor at Strangford Island across the Strangford Gate Bridge,
fairy lights everywhere.
So yeah, you're likely to, particularly on the house grounds, there's likely to be ectoplasmic lights. There's like lamps, like you would think, that have the old school kind of ones where you have to pull the chain to make them click on and off. Out here, we're probably talking like maybe like oil lamps, like old school, kind of Victorian era oil lamps that have been set out that have to be refilled every day and refixed. So the light out here is most certainly what one might consider dim. So you coming out of the darkness after they kick the shit out of you, and instead of this being like, you remember what happened earlier? Time for payback, bitch. Instead, now for them being like, oh, you dropped your key. Like, yeah, there's definitely
God, wait, can I give it to you? Can I give it to you real quick? Yeah, g'day. I've been looking for you for quite some time. I've got something that I want to say to you. I got your key.
Yeah, this dude is like, what the fuck?
You dropped it.
He is taken aback, and he like very, very gingerly takes the key from you and is like, that
You've probably been looking for that for a while. You've been locked out or something, I
thanks.
dare say.
And he's like looking at it. Now, at the same time, the two other toughs come out from Snatcher Alley.
I wonder what they're doing down there.
Holding
Couple
a
of
purse.
blokes. Yeah.
And they see this. And
oh, g'day, guys. Hello again.
The first guy looks at the guy that you just gave the key to and goes, "Thistle, you bloody fucking snitch." And he's like, "No, no, 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 no! It's not what you think. It's not what you think." You can tell that this is about to turn into a full-on brawl. So, what are you guys gonna do?
And like Thistle's yelling like, "Oh, he just came to bring me back my key." It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, it's such a lame excuse because that would never happen in real life.
Oh, I'm just standing there taking this all in.
Oh,
I've got my 2 pistols at the ready.
both of them. Oh. I don't want to just sneak away, right? Just Homer Simpson into the hedge out of this situation. But that kind of feels like the way to do it, you know? Like, were they here following us? Surely not.
No,
Oh,
you
no, they
came up.
were.
No, you
Yeah.
came up on them because you were going to Swinegate Court to go find.
Yeah,
the
they're
man.
they're just here snatching purses. You think people would leave their purse at home if they have to go anywhere near Purse Snatcher Alley? But you know,
but they'd keep their wallet.
They keep their wallet. That's good.
So okay, so how are you? So Aldrich, you're basically at the ready for combat here. You're just watching Desi. Schooner, how are you? Are you just gonna back off and let these 3 go at it?
I think so. I think it's so much easier to like just leave and let these guys get back to perch snatching and beating the shit out of each other. And the next time we see Thistle again, it's like, those guys that you're with, Thistle, they don't seem like they're so cool. You know?
Planting the seed.
Water it a little bit, they come back to it later.
So these guys, like, when they go after him, they lay into him. Like, he gets dragged back into Purse Snatcher Alley. And the sounds that come out of Purse Snatcher Alley maybe make you think that this is going to be this alley is about to be renamed.
They're just not snatching his purse.
Yeah, they're a little bit of breaking and entering, but maybe not.
Oh no, poor Thistle.
So okay, so you have now given your key up.
Yep. Oh, I should take that off my. Wait, I have that on my items. I wrote it down.
So you guys are heading to Swinegate Court, which is right around the corner. So what are you going to do when you get there? The outside of Swinegate Court, the way to get into the inner. So it is there are a bunch of buildings that are on the outside. It's kind of like businesses and things like that, and a lot of them are kind of the style of building where there's a business on the bottom floor, and then there's like a domicile or residence on the top floor, or even more apartments than that that are in the above floors. But in order to actually get into the center of Swinegate Court, as you'll notice that there's kind of like a little L shape there, that entire intersection is like a little internal plaza or a little common area. And in from there are some nicer looking doors anyways. There's no way to know, of course, what's in them, but there's nicer looking doors. So you think that you see the equivalent of like maybe like a name list on the outside or in the courtyard there. But your way is blocked by a large gate. So how do you want to approach this particular topic or target?
How wide are the streets or the alleys here?
So outside of so here, we'll say large enough for a single horse pulled or goat pulled carriage, excuse me, to go. So large enough for two large goats and a carriage to go through, but only one at a time.
So possible to jump across, like from a rooftop or something.
Sure. If you took a really good hard run, like if you had a little bit of takeoff space, and you wanted to take a run and go jump from one to the other, yeah, sure, you could probably do it. I mean, it's only going to be like what a 4 or 5 story fall if you miss. So
yeah, I'll catch you.
I mean, people have survived worse. They weren't happy about it the rest of their lives, but they. I mean,
you're right. People have made worse decisions in their lives before. Like coming to Duskfall.
I was just wondering if it would be as easy as, approaching her domicile and just kind of knocking on the door. And
this is his. This is the old man.
Oh, we went to the old man first. That's right. I'm so sorry.
I mean, the other thing is out of character is how much stress do you have? Can you resist that roll? Because you can just do it and then say you resist the consequences of falling 5 stories. Like that's what this game is about.
Yeah, but keep in mind that resisting the effects of falling 5 stories is still going to have some amount.
Yeah, you just snap your ankles instead of your.
Yeah, instead of your knees.
You broke both of your legs as opposed to your spine coming out your asshole.
You'll just reduce that level 4 harm that kills you instantly to level 3 harm.
Yeah,
where you can't do anything without needing help.
I mean, I have really good sway, so the possibility of just kind of approaching and attempting to speak to him, hey, I saw you in the pub, and I don't know what we could have to convince him, but that's where my strengths lie.
You could tell him you found 3 guys that were following him from the pub.
Yeah, definitely.
He knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're fighting in the alley.
Oh man, I could have used the key line on him and just made him real confused. Like, you dropped this. No, I didn't. Oh, then where did this key
when
come
you were
from?
kicking my ass? And he's like, what? Yeah. How much did I drink?
Never going back to that fucking bar again.
Oh, I'm going back to that bar. That bar's fun. I got a key out of that bar. Imagine what I'll get next time. I love Cullens. Cullens is a great little spot.
I mean, like I said, that's where my strengths lie. But if Aldrich thinks this jumping alleys is gonna get us somewhere,
so how would you like to approach this particular situation? To me, this is. I have to admit, this is all hysterical because so far this has all been set up for the score. Like we haven't even got.
I know.
Yeah,
That's why I'm like, if I could just figure out my decision-making process a little faster.
Like we're gonna get to the end of the night, we're gonna be like, well, now you've got all of your information for the score. Tune in next week.
Okay, just so we're all on the same page, because like I said, my brain's not all with it today. What is it? What information are we trying to glean from this guy?
Information about the ghost. I mean, if he's the mark or the score, he seemed to be the one that had the information about the ghost.
So I say, catch him off guard, as Schooner is one to do. Show up, knock on his door, and offer our services.
So here is half of your. So you have a slight problem because before you can even get to figure out which door this is, you still have to get through the gate.
Schooner, do you not have lockpick kit with you?
Oh yeah, I got a lockpick. I can get you in. Yeah, you want to break into this guy's house? I can do that. Yeah, no problem.
Well, the
Sorry, what?
gate anyway. And we can always,
Oh, the gate.
your gate, it was wide open. I'm sorry, sir. I
Yeah.
don't know what kind of security you have.
It was. I heard it squeaking earlier, and it was bothering me, so I just unlocked it, and I got out the WD-40, and I thought I'd fix that for you. I can lock it back for you just fine. Yeah. No, I can. Yeah. Is there anybody around? Look,
There is.
check the windows, make sure nobody's watching. Open the gate. Easy as piece of piss.
So how are you going to? What skill are you going to use? Are you going to tinker here? Are you going to finesse? I'm going to guess you're not going to attempt to consort with it. Although,
hold on.
Tinker with.
How many do you have in Tinker, Schooner?
I have 1 in Tinker and 1 in Finesse.
I have 2 in Tinker.
Oh yeah, cool. I take out my fine lockpicks. Yeah, you want to have a go? I'll keep watch.
Yes, definitely.
okay, so this is, I guess, would be a setup maneuver here. So you will get an additional die. Do you want to push yourself?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So you've got an additional die from that. Do you want a devil's bargain?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Because I figure if I fail miserably, Schooner still has 1 in Tinker. We've got a backup try.
If you fail miserably, you're going to fuck up the lock.
Ugh. Then we just kick the bitch.
And then no one can get in or out.
And the entire building starves. Fuck them all.
So this is probably risky.
This is indeed a risky situation. And of course, because it's a lock and you're just trying to pick the lock, it's going to be a standard effect.
Standard effect.
But you're going to have better effect because they're fine lockpicks from me.
Yep. So you'll get 2 extra die.
Okay. Awesome blossom. Here we go.
6. That's all you need.
So you lean down, and it doesn't take you any time at all. The lock is perhaps a little oversized, maybe meant to be more defensive.
It's there for show.
Yeah, it's more meant to intimidate people than it is to actually function as a particularly great lock.
But can we tell if the key that we found is somewhat the right size and shape for this lock?
No.
Pull out the drawing.
Yeah.
Pull out the drawing.
Oh, we might have used the key.
So the door or the gate swings right in, and you now have access to the courtyard. Was this in fact a swine gate? Who knows?
And you said there were names written outside. Do any of the names correspond to anything, or they're just the names of the houses?
So it's much like at an apartment complex where it says like the number of the thing, and then it says the name.
Perfect.
And there are a number of names here.
When he left the tavern, did he talk to anybody on the way, or did he just like go straight back? Like, would the Raven have picked up anybody talking to him or calling to him by name, or?
No, he went straight home.
I'm wondering though why your raven couldn't have followed him all the way to his house.
Because once he went inside the building, like
He
I,
couldn't
I,
have flown like through this gate.
I mean, I'm sure he could have gotten in the courtyard, but I mean, would he have seen what building or what door he went into? Because I didn't know there was a courtyard like at the first description of it. Like you just said he went in the Swinegate Court, and I figured, okay, once he's inside of a building, I can't see him anymore. That's it. But at this point, would the Raven be able to see what door in the courtyard he went into?
So I would say that, given the current circumstances, that's was pretty inspecific to begin with. So I would probably lean towards no. On the other hand, that's what flashbacks are for. So if somebody wants to use a flashback, there are a number of different places in which you could have either procured a name or seen where he went.
Like, kind of like how I used my flashback. Hmm?
Or you can just start kicking in people's doors and start mugging everybody.
Well, I already did a flashback. Somebody else do one.
No, that's not gonna work here.
What were you gonna say?
No, don't worry. It's a good idea. I'm gonna save it for later.
Okay.
So this is the old dude, right? The guy who knew about the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
The ghost was the former living occupant of that body was his courier.
Yeah. I'm gonna start knocking on doors and just like whenever like I can see movement at the peephole, or if they open the door and say hello, just like, oh, I'm so sorry to bother you guys. Have you seen my son? I saw him run down here. The gate was just left open. I don't know where he is. He's run off again. And like, have you seen? And I'm taking out pictures that I've got in like a locket or something of like me and my two kids. It's like he's yeah. Have you seen my son? He looks like this. He's about so tall. Just it would so help me if you could tell me if you've seen my son. He's lost. Oh yeah, just like trying to see who lives here. Just doing that to every single door. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to say. So I'm guessing you're going to use consort for that.
Sure. I think it's the only thing I've rolled so far. Oh no, I did roll a study.
I was gonna say, I guess theoretically you could also. This could also be a finesse, but So I'm going to say that this is going to be a pretty desperate position.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just throwing it out there. What about Sway though? I mean, I'm just looking at the descriptions and I want to know the difference.
Yeah, no. The thing that I just described was 100% Sway. You are right, Pixie. It is like Sway is the one where you're being tricky,
right?
And Consort is the one where you're being like charming and open.
Okay,
right. Consort is, well, I know a guy,
right?
And Sway is like, oh, well, I know a guy.
Yeah. I mean, I have 2 points. We could make this a family affair. My poor husband and I, we just can't find our young Ethan.
I don't know how my wife would feel about that.
I'm gonna prop up in a corner in the courtyard, and I'm just gonna survey and just see if I see a door open.
You might also
and
send your raven to just like watch the gardens
he can,
and see if anyone
he can sit up
matching.
top and watch. But
this does seem more like a sway. I'm less excited to roll a sway because I have no dice in it, but I will. If I get an assist,
Yeah.
and push myself, I'm 100% happy to roll sway.
Okay, so
Otherwise,
you're gonna push yourself and getting close to trauma.
Yep. So I'm going to push myself. So you've already marked that. So that's
Yep.
an extra die.
So that's one extra
I am
die.
going to. Am I getting an aid from Desi?
yes.
And
Did you mark it already, Desi? I can do it.
Yeah,
Got it.
no, thank you. I was in OBS. Sorry.
What effect am I going to have here?
So your I'm gonna say this is a fairly desperate position, as you're literally banging on people's doors at like the dead of night.
But it's always the dead of night and duskfall.
You're not wrong, but
yeah, people can't think straight in the dead of night either. Is the other great thing. It's just like
I would
kid who
I would go so far as to say the effect here is likely to be fairly limited.
Sure.
So this is gonna be a fairly difficult situation for you to get a whole lot of information about. So okay, so we're gonna do that. So that's 2 die.
2 die, and I'm also a daredevil. When you roll a desperate action, you get +1 to your roll if you also take -1 to any resistance rolls against consequences from your action. Let's go!
Oh, this is gonna be great.
A 5, okay.
That's never good for the GM to say.
Okay, so
I love a high stakes, low results like roll.
So the first, okay, so we're gonna come back to that real quick. Aldrich, you said you wanted to take up a position and survey what's
Would
going
hunt
on.
be better if we know, since we know the target at this point?
I also get XP because I rolled a desperate thingy.
Take it.
Gather information about its location and movements.
I mean you could do either way. You know the location, but you don't know where your target is, so you could theoretically saying I'm surveying this area to try to find my target makes some amount of sense. On the other hand, saying that I'm actively hunting a target even though I don't know where they are in this location makes sense to me as well. So I would say either one of those is probably fine.
I'll probably do a hunt then. I got more points in hunt.
Okay. I'm going to say your position is probably going to be risky, but the effect's probably going to be limited.
Okay.
Since you don't actually know where they are, which you're hunting. Okay. So we're going to start Schooner.
G'day.
When you start banging on doors,
my poor lost son,
and playing this up, what exactly what are you trying to sway them to do? Let's kind of clarify on that point a little bit more with this.
Not think anything of it when they close the door and like shoo me away, right? Like all that I want from the situation is them to open the door for me to see who it is, like have that social interaction and go, oh, if you haven't seen him, that's all right, I'll go keep looking, my etc. And then move on.
One moment, we may have lost Nox.
Yeah, he'll just have to refresh.
It happens.
Damn, you rolled 20.
everybody back? Was I the only one who left?
You were the only one.
You were the only one that were gone.
All of a sudden, like everybody like stopped talking and froze in like really funny positions, and I was like, like I was talking and illustrating things, and I was like, oh, there's nobody fucking listening to me. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so these
Just
two
like
things.
having kids.
My poor lost son.
So these two.
You're right, Pixie?
We lost him
We
again.
lost him again.
Oh,
can tell whenever it goes to that little picture of him in the ball cap.
When he's got his
Yep.
beard back. Bearden says he's been deleted. Oh no.
Oh no. That's what I get for looking at Twitch rather than Roll20, is that I'm like a beat behind.
Welcome back.
There you go. Third time's a charm.
You were just talking about getting disconnected and
Jesus fucking Christ, that's funny. Dear Lord. Okay, so these two things happen at the same time. I'm going to work as fast as I can, so that way maybe we can get to the next part of this. So, as you're banging on doors and people are opening them, you get all sorts of different reactions from, from people coming out and being like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry about your situation. Is there anything that I can possibly do to help?" All the way to a very cranky, to a very cranky old woman who basically looks you dead in the eye and says, "Well, I guess you're down a kid," and fucking closes the door on you.
Oh shit! As she closes the door, Schooner goes, "Yeah, all right," and he takes out a little pocketbook and he writes down the address, puts it back for later.
I will.
That woman's getting fucking robbed.
I will even give you the address. That is.
Hell yeah.
That is 4 Swinegate Court.
Nice.
I'm gonna put that in the notes.
That's next week's score. Robbing that lady. See, we don't have to do so much. So much for the build up on that one. We already know next week's score.
Yep.
So, you guys, it is almost the next to last one when you knock on the door and Aldrich, you see the little old man kind of peek his head through the window, and he looks out into the courtyard, and he doesn't see Schooner or Desi until he opens the door, and then he opens the door, and he sees you, Schooner, and he immediately slams the door and locks it.
Excuse me, are you there? I would like to talk to you about your long distance service calls.
Your carriage is extended warranty.
Are you currently satisfied with your life insurance policy?
So,
with your ghost insurance policy.
Yeah, with your ghost insurance policy. Yes.
So, what are you going to do? He knows you're there. You've correctly identified his apartment.
Can we tell him
one Swinegate Court, by the way, if anybody wants to note that on there.
One Swinegate Court.
Do we know if there's like a back door or a back garden or alley that he could possibly be escaping from?
So you don't know that.
Okay.
But here's what I would say to that. It is not unlikely.
He definitely
that would be
recognizes
maybe
me,
a
though, because I bought him a
survey?
drink.
I send the Raven the circle around above, and see if he pops out somewhere.
There's
Okay.
definitely doors on the outside.
No, I mean he's waiting to see if he actually pops out.
Oh yeah, no, that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Right.
That was my fear. I mean, Schooner, I would say knock on the door and announce why we're here. We have a proposition for him.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I don't want to open his door for him. That would be impolite. Um,
Certainly
but we
not as
could.
polite as giving his key back.
Certainly not as polite as that.
We got to take his key first.
Wait, hang on. Can I feel like I'm layering lies on top of lies on top of lies. What if I do use the can I get You dropped your key is such a good line though. It's so good. Do we want to use that to get in? Like, what information do we want out of this guy is the other thing that I'll ask the other players.
I was more of the mindset of telling him that, well, that we overheard some gentlemen at the tavern speak of this man and rumors, and we would like to offer our services before his business keeps spreading around on the streets thanks to these other gentlemen. Make ourselves look better and see if he'll give us the score.
And we can even take care of those 3 guys for you.
There we go.
Yeah. Is that all it is then? Right? Like, he has a letterbox. We slip our proposition into the letterbox for him and say, meet us, at this time and place if you want this to go well. Right? Like, offer him our services in that way.
So you're not like actually attempting to get him to do anything right now. You're just hoping that he's going to give you business later.
I mean, like, right now is whenever we need it to be as well, right? We cut to then, and it's then. I don't know. I'm just trying to get us to a rolling the engagement roll as fast as we can. But I don't know. That might not even be happening today. The way this is going.
I was gonna say.
How long is this stream going for? You want to do this for
about another half hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As somebody who runs Forged in the Dark games, finishing the session with the engagement roll is so good. And it's like great for prep as well. Yeah, like cut to this guy coming to us?
If he does.
If he does.
So that was going to be my next so what role is this going to be?
So with Way, is it strictly through
Deception. It seems like.
Well, it says with charm, logic, deception, disguise, bluff. But can this cross over into the written word?
Charm, sway someone with charm and logic, change attitudes or behavior with manipulation.
So I would write the note.
Seduction doesn't have to be sexy either. It's like this is too good an opportunity.
Oh, just offer someone So
we are so good at this. You want us doing this job.
Yeah, that's essentially, if it carries the written word, I'll write the note. I have 2 in sway, so.
Hell yeah. Okay. I can give you an assist.
Okay.
So.
You're trying to push it, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oof! I knew it.
So if I get a trauma, that's another way for me to get XP. Getting a trauma is also a great way to clear all of your stress as well.
True.
So, is there any way, just as kind of a side thing, I don't recall it being in the book that there's any really great ways to get rid of trauma, though.
Oh no, it's like There isn't a way to get rid of trauma. But it also says long-term projects you can do basically anything you want with, and one of the suggestions for the thing outside of the rules that you can do with a long-term project is getting rid of trauma. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Okay. So you're pushing. So 3 die. Are you going to? Do you want to push yourself for this, or do you want to take a devil's bargain?
Well, what would the bargain be?
So the devil's bargain would be that the
He's coming to us with a job, and it's a hell of a job.
no, the
Or
job's
it's the wrong, or it's the wrong job. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It could be any of those things. If any of you want to take any of those, but actually, what I was going to say is that you, as you were writing this letter and as you were depositing it into the box, you notice that someone is watching you and watches you put this letter in, and they scurry off. So somebody knows now that you are attempting to consort and sway this old man.
If you take the devil's bargain,
If you take the devil's bargain,
it's that old lady at number 4. She's got it. She's got it coming.
Right. She's the town snitch. No, let's roll without it. Let's just hope I passed on my own merit here. Would this be risky or controlled?
part of me wants to say controlled because you're writing the letter. You have as much time as you really want to write the letter. On the other hand, part of me wants to say risky because you're literally showing up at some dude's house in the middle of the night, dropping mail into his box. And
it's always the middle of the night in Duskfall, though.
And hoping he's going to answer. And the other part of it, it could very well be seen as desperate. Because you were attempting to convince a guy who now has already seen you, so he's already got a reason to be suspicious of you, that...
So just throwing this out there, the reason I don't see it necessarily as risky anymore is that he slammed the door in our faces. He hasn't come back with a weapon. He hasn't... He himself doesn't seem to be endangering us.
The other thing that can be true is that we don't drop the letter off now. We come back later, so it's not connected, right? We have somebody else in the crew drop the letter off.
I was about to say send a courier.
Yeah, send a courier. Courier's good. Yeah.
Send one of his.
Everybody else in the building knows who that kid is because they've seen a picture of him, but this guy doesn't. I'm not putting my kids. I'm not getting my family involved in jobs like that.
Yeah, it does make more sense to send it by courier.
Crime is not a family affair.
Yet. Okay, so how are you going to how are you executing this, Desi?
Well, we certainly don't want to stand here on the stoop and do it and look even more obvious than we are. Is there anything near?
Just I turn around, you write the note with the piece of paper on my back.
We just graffiti it on the house. Call us.
God.
No, just is there anything near outside that's open about this time? A cafe,
Kellen's.
If it's not that far.
It's so you are here. Kellen's is mechanically over here. So it's a couple blocks.
Oh, there's got to be tables in the market, right?
I'm sure there's benches and stuff in the market.
Yeah, that's all we need. Just
somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
Write a note.
Okay, so then
get the Raven to drop it through bail slot somewhere.
Good idea.
Drops it through the chimney.
Through the window. It's just fun.
Does like the whole Harry Potter thing.
Just tie it with a rubber band around a brick and
Throw it through the window.
Hey, bitch, give us a job.
Go find somebody else's little kid, tie it to the little kid, tie the little kid to a brick, throw it through the window. So
Okay.
the roll. So you said you're going to. So dude, sway. What were the bonuses you were taking for it? Were you gonna push? Were you gonna push yourself? Okay.
I was giving you an assist.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the assist, and I
I
thought
already
you
marked
said I had.
stress.
Yes. Okay, so that's 3. Position. I'm going to say that this is going to be. So we'll say because it could be a 50-50 here. We'll say that it's risky. I will say that the effect is. I mean, I'll say it's standard. There's probably he's either going to respond to the letter or he's not. It's not likely that he's gonna look over it and be like, I'll wait.
So I have 1 bonus.
So yeah, you have 1 bonus, so it should be 3 risky and standard. So while you were writing the letter, the wording for it goes fine. You hand it off to a courier to go deliver it. And about 10 minutes later, the courier comes back looking a little haphazard, maybe a little ruffled. Not roughed up, but definitely maybe a little harried. And he's like, well, I dropped it off. But there were 2 guys who were in the courtyard, who were knocking on doors,
Shit.
who were asking about their missing kid, but they were covered in blood. So whenever people were answering the door, it wasn't going over very well. They tried to get me, but they didn't. But they definitely know that I dropped a letter off at a house.
Wait.
These are the 2 guys, 2 of the 3.
Yeah. Why are they covered in blood?
Because they
They
got
beat
into
the
a
shit
fight
out of
with
their
the guy you
friend.
gave the key to.
And they
Yeah,
whooped your
okay.
ass, so I imagine any.
They were using the same stupid lie as,
Oh my
as we
God.
were. That's so funny.
Mm.
So,
Cool.
But he sends no response.
Well, not yet.
so what do you guys want to do?
Should we head over and investigate the greenhouse?
Yeah, go ahead. Give it a yeah.
Just a kind of reconnaissance once over.
Have a peep. Have a
I've got a
look-see.
spyglass.
Ooh.
Handy
Anything
dandy.
useful for that? I could get up on the roof. I got some light climbing gear. Just do some light climbing.
Light climbing, 4 or 5 stories.
Yep.
It's just just an easy little hike up the side of a building.
Yeah.
Not cat burglar like. Okay, so you guys are actually going. So you guys are going to take off from Char Hollow Market, and you're going to head over into Old Village to go make an assessment of the the building with
Glass house.
with the greenhouse on top.
I never burgled a cat in my life. How dare you?
I said burgled, not buggered.
I said burgled.
So when you cross over Bridge Road, or are you going? So are you actually going to head all the way to the building, or are you going to basically head back to the beach and kind of surveil it from there?
I was thinking from a distance. That's what I brought my spyglass. So I mean, we can go closer if we want to, but I at least want to see what I can see from a distance before I get up close.
Is this glass house on Strangford House? Where was it?
It was a Homely Black Lane.
Oh,
down there.
yeah. Okay,
Right.
cool. Sick. I see it.
Back Lane.
I don't think I have anything really like long distance to my advantage.
I reckon I just go up there and.
I mean, where this place is, would it be out of place for someone to just be walking?
It's like 5 stories up, right? Like. I think I like go climb up the house next to it, you know?
So here is I'll give you a little bit more of a detailed description of the building itself, since you would be able to see that without much of an effort. So the bottom floor is an alchemist shop.
Mm-hmm.
The windows are very, very darkly tinted, which in the very, very dim light means that seeing into the alchemist shop is very, very difficult. Peeking through, maybe you could see some odds and ends, some assortment, maybe some equipment that's been on the window stands, mannequin, it looks like maybe, but really not a whole lot of detail here. The second and third floors, all of the windows are either boarded up and shuttered or have had really heavy curtains pulled over them.
Vampire lives there. Yeah, gotcha.
You beat me to it.
The fourth floor, most of the windows are open, like they're not shuttered, but they're tinted, not as darkly tinted as the downstairs windows, the shopfront windows, but slightly tinted. You can see, sometimes you would be able to see things moving up there, people walking by the windows, but they'd be no more than silhouettes. So you wouldn't be able to see any super high detail here.
Right, so silhouettes live in that one.
The top floor, there is, on the side of the building that is facing basically the burnt water, there's a greenhouse with that green glass that all greenhouses have, that basically extends along the length. So the greenhouse actually goes basically from here, you can see that, all the way to kind of midway. The buildings have kind of been joined a little bit here. And then goes back. And then behind the greenhouse, there is it's like a brick. It's almost like somebody built a brick building on top of a brick building already, that the greenhouse is abutted up against. So it's basically another structure that's on top. But that is from a distance, what it looks like is it looks like somebody's got kind of a farm going on up there, which is not uncommon for communities and things like that, to have those for like all the residents in the building pitch in and do some of the work and then take some of the whatever. That's not uncommon.
Yeah, do it. They're running a CSA program out of that place. Yeah. Cool. I want to climb up that like double brick building.
Okay, so how are you going to do it? What do you? So, are you going to attempt to be sneaky about this? Are you going to?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got my little.
Throw your grappling hook up there and pull yourself up like Batman.
I got my little Domino's mask on, and I got my little clink, clink, clink. Adam West up the side of that building.
Nice.
Got it. So
community supported agriculture. That's what CST stands for. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the skill you are going to use to do such a thing?
I'm gonna prowl up there so nobody sees me.
All right. Are you going to push yourself?
God no. You'll never see me again if I do. But I will ask for a devil's bargain.
All right. So
what position am I in?
So
I'm pretty out in the open.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So this is definitely probably risky heading towards desperate because this is fairly out in the open. Here's the devil's bargain for you.
I mean like coveralls. My look is coveralls, neckerchief, calloused hands, crooked smiles. I'm just working on the building. You know, I got my work toolbox.
At this time of night?
Yeah, it's always this time of night. It's a dusk fall.
So here would be my devil's bargain for you.
Yeah.
In Char Hollow, there is a particular group called the Lost, which are a semi-militant group who are mostly in charge of protecting kind of the downtrodden. They're generally considered by most of the community to be the good guys. They will see you do this. They will be out patrolling and will catch you scaling the side of the building.
Love that for them. Love that for them. G'day, fellas. How you doing? I hear you're the good guys. So are we. Risky or desperate, did you say?
I would say so. Are you taking the devil's bargain?
Hell yeah.
Okay. So then I would say that this is probably going to be, we'll say risky.
Cool. Standard effect?
Standard.
And I'm getting a bonus dice from Devil's Bargain. Boom. A 5. I've got 2 5s.
So you, as you're climbing up the side of the building, when you get before we finish that particular thing real quick, Aldrich, Desi, what are you doing during this? Aldrich, you said you were going to attempt to spyglass from across the
from the second chance,
from
the beach area that we were before.
Okay, Desi, what are you doing?
I think I'll just survey around the block, around the building, check out the alleyways, kind of around, and just survey for anything we need to be aware of, anything that stands out.
Okay, so you're going to be kind of, so he's going to be surveying from across. You're going to actually be going around the building, kind of checking it out. Okay. We'll say because you are both surveying, it seems kind of makes sense that you guys would probably be helping one another. So who wants to roll on the surveying?
I have a 0 in survey.
I guess
I have
rolling.
study. But it doesn't mention a place. It mentions a person, document, item. It doesn't mention that I could study a place. So,
I mean, you could study a place. I don't know. What you would be studying for might be a little different than surveying would be.
Yeah.
But
You might have less effect if you were studying rather than surveying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here is the.
I think Schooner should take the role, right?
Well, Schooner has
Schooner's
already.
climbing.
Oh,
climbing.
gotcha. So, yeah, I have 0.
So if you want to study, you can certainly do that.
I mean, it's got to be better than no dice, right? Like, what would the...
I mean, you could always
No,
push
if you-
yourself
if-
for a dice.
No. No, I'll just do study. We'll see what we get out of it.
Okay, so we'll say that's going to be risky and limited.
And no bonus.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Let's get ready to resist some consequences.
All right. We're going to come back to that in a moment. Aldrich, you're going to...
He's going to let me sit and stew in it. Oh.
Aldrich, you are climbing, or you are surveying from across, correct? Are you going to... Do you want to push yourself?
No, but I'll take a devil's bargain.
Okay, so here is the devil's bargain. While you are looking across from the second chance, the bluecoats who previously were on patrol and nearly caught up with your friends, that same patrol of bluecoats will see you. So it will be an increase in of the cruise heat by 1.
Okay. So you just see me standing there with a spyglass, and that's.
That guy's up to no good.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I think you're casing the joint, which you kind of are.
Already.
So okay, so then let me add that 1 heat to the crew.
Hello, kitty. We see you.
And then roll your survey. Do you want to put? You said you weren't going to push yourself, right?
Right. I took the devil's bargain instead. What's the position?
Position, I would say controlled.
Effect standard.
Effect standard.
Oh!
Boom!
Nice.
Damn. It's a
That's
first.
a really good spyglass.
It's a first.
First time I've used it, too.
So, we're going to kind of go in order to explain exactly how this works. Scooter, your climbing equipment is thrown up there. You are pulling yourself up the side of the building. It is a pretty easy climb for you, quite frankly. There's plenty of easy places to put your feet, places to rest.
Parkour.
Yeah, the ability, it is fine. Even when you hear the Lost from underneath yell up and be like, "Hey, the fuck are you doing?" By that point, you're basically already up and on the roof.
Through a window. Yep. Nice. I'm a tile inspector.
Well, it's a good thing you're inspecting those tiles, because as you climb up and over, when you put a hand down to pull yourself over, you shove and the brick goes off the side. And you hear a thud and a fuck, ow!
Oh, shit.
Sorry, fellas.
you hit Desi.
Oh shit!
Now,
Friendly
Getting-
fire.
God damn it! Can you? Oh,
getting hit with a brick from 5 stories up,
That's pretty rough.
that's pretty fucking hardcore. Um,
I'm surprised she could say "oh shit" after that.
yeah, she's probably saying it from the ground. Um, so
Do you want to not have been hit by a brick and not hear from Schooner in a little bit? He'll come back later, maybe for the score. Maybe not, because this
So-
seems like a great place to resist that.
I was going to
Oh.
say, so this is definitely level 3 trauma. Like getting hit basically in the upper torso with a brick. That we're talking broken bones minimum.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a physicker. Can I not heal myself?
Yeah, later.
You can later. Right now, you're laying on the fucking ground.
Oh,
like-
okay. Okay. I
Um,
forget
unless-
that there's an order to these things.
Yes, unless you want to resist the consequence
but right
and
now, you're going
potentially
to
take
suffer.
stress.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to you're taking level 3 harm from this. You can resist it, but you're also reasonably close to taking trauma from this, which will push you out.
Could I resist it? Could I
Now you can.
catch the brick just in time?
Yeah, you could. Of course, you could resist it.
Yeah, I'm happy
Well,
to do that.
so wait. Now here is the question, or kind of the issue. If you're resisting it, you're technically resisting your 5. How does, and just this is kind of just as a rules question. How does your resisting your going to offset her 1?
I would be resisting the consequences of. I think you can resist the consequences of other people's actions just fine, right? So long as it fits in the fiction, and that would be something that I would have to go look up. But I think it makes sense here.
You may protect an ally by suffering a consequence in their place.
Right? Like, so maybe I take a slip,
Okay.
So instead of the brick coming outward, you trip going face forward. Like the loose brick
could
propels
happen.
you forward.
I could reduce the level of the injury by reducing the amount of brick that falls. I grab it, but a smaller piece. I dislodge a smaller piece, or instead of the whole brick, it's just a shitload of grout or something. Grout? What's the stuff between bricks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're right. Crap.
So I'll let you guys negotiate how you guys want to handle that.
I think it makes more sense for me to make the resistance roll. I'm happy to take
I'll
a little
accept.
tumble.
Okay, so
and also I am the guest here, so if this character doesn't come back, we know why.
okay, so what we'll say then is, so you climb up, no problem. As you go, you put your hand forward as you're pulling over, and you feel the brick go, and you think to yourself, there's a snap-second think where you go, if this falls off the side and hits somebody in the head, I'm going to have just murdered somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of scramble and go to grab it, and you're able to grab it, but that only leaves you one hand to kind of grab onto the other side of the building as you're basically going over. So you're able to catch yourself, but the sudden jerk of having to catch the brick and then fall off the side severely wrenches your shoulder, maybe even dislocating it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that would be, I would say, level 2 harm.
Sure. Dislocated shoulder.
Thank you.
You can write it if you would like to.
And a prowess resist.
So are you going to try to resist it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look, I only take one.
Nice.
Oh man. Oh. I'm one stress away from a full track. One.
So, well, you are hanging off the. I will go so far as to say that it doesn't dislocate your shoulder. It just
Yeah, okay.
wrenches it really bad, which reduces
cool.
it down to level 1.
Sure.
So you're hanging off the side of the building with a wrenched shoulder. Desi is looking up at you, thinking to herself, "Holy shit, that would have hurt." Aldrich, as you're looking across with your spyglass and you're watching, you can hear the bluecoats coming down the street, but it doesn't even matter to you in this moment because there's been while you were watching, there was a long electric peal, almost like something you would see from like a Tesla coil or something, that you saw very clearly, and the illumination of that brightness illuminated clearly into the greenhouse, and you've seen what's in there. It is a giant bunch of electroplasmic equipment, and there are a ton of ghosts.
Cool.
It's a ghost house.
And this seems like an appropriate.
Ghostbusters.
On this particular note, this seems like an appropriate place for our session tonight to end. So,
Cool.
I definitely want to thank our guest Schooner, who is definitely welcome to come back.
Yes.
G'day.
Yeah.
Hell
We
yeah.
gotta
You
finish
made
up
it
this-
through session. You made it through one. One
And we didn't even
character.
finish the score, so we got to finish
Yeah.
the score.
We didn't even begin the score.
Yeah.
We haven't done the engagement roll for this job yet. We haven't begun the score.
No.
Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/dry_gold.
Yeah,
I'm
get you a
still
shout
figuring
out.
out what I'm doing a little bit. I'm finding that the tabletop role-playing game stuff seems to be doing well for me. So I'm doing a bit of D&D prep on there, and I want to be doing other stuff as well. So check that out if it sounds interesting at all. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
This has been a lot of fun.
Of course.
Love Forged in the Dark and all of its children. Blades in the Dark and all of its children. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Well, everybody, it's been a fantastic night. We've had a lot of fun. Again, thanking Dry Gold for being here. I've dropped his link into the chat, so you guys please go over, check out his content, and give a follow. Thanks to Nox, our storyteller, and Zach for joining us. And thanks to you guys. Everybody have a fantastic evening, and I'll get you guys rated out. See you later.